Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Peace. It's Brother Marcellus X. I'm about to give you all my review of the First Purge film. I had the opportunity to go and see it last night. I'm not going to lie. I was very reluctant to go and see it because I felt like the Purge series was getting very redundant. But last evening, I took the time out to actually go and see the film with a very dear friend of mine, and I was thoroughly impressed. I was impressed at the writing, the acting, and the overall message of the film. There was so many points that I felt like the film made. It's impossible for me to actually go over them all in one video. Pardon me, but hopefully in this video I'll hit on the finer points, right? The first thing that pops out to me instantly is the government's tampering with the experiment that they were calling the Purge, okay? For those that may not have seen the film, know anything about the series, basically the Purge is an event that takes place where all crime is legal for a certain amount of time, okay? This film, the First Purge film, acts as a prelude to the previous three that came out. You had The Purge, then you had Purge Anarchy, then you had Purge Election Year. And so the First Purge is an origins film, okay? It takes place on Staten Island, which is in New York, okay? And it's purely experimental. But the first thing that jumped out to me was when the Purge was initiated, the thought from the government and the scientists in the movie was that it would be instantly successful because poor people are just inherently violent, they're inherently dangerous. But as they were looking at the monitors, as they were monitoring Purge Night, people were actually having parties and things were not going as they had planned when they looked at the data. So just like the government always does, anytime they can't get the outcome that they thought they were going to get, they start tampering with it. And they actually had mercenaries going into these low-income areas, aka the hood, BKA, where black people live, and setting shit off, okay? And so we can bring that to real life by what's going on in Chicago, right? We know for a fact that there are police officers and mercenaries going around in Chicago disguised in black skin, killing black people and making it seem like black people are doing it. There was an incident a few years ago that I read about where a young man actually went into the Chicago police station and reported this, and he wound up dying not soon after exposing that. We've seen various pictures of masks that have been found laying around Chicago, obviously worn by white supremacists, obviously worn by police officers and mercenaries. And so in the film, I love how they highlighted that, because it shows you that just because black people for the most part are poor, just because you have poor brown people, it doesn't mean that we are inherently violent. The real violent motherfuckers are these rich and powerful white people, and also these mercenaries who they train to kill. And let's be very clear about something. The United States government nor these mercenaries have any allegiance to the people in this country, the poor people, that is, right? Mercenaries are killers that are hired to the and they work for the highest bidder, okay? They don't have any allegiance to you, me, your neighbor, your auntie, your baby daddy's best friend. They don't have any allegiance to any one of us. So it's nothing for them to get a call and come in and do work. As long as that money is right, they don't give a damn that you are an American or a wannabe American. All right. Another thing that I love about this film, and this is my favorite thing about it, was we got a chance to see a dark-skinned savior. Now, to most people that may not mean anything, but when we consider that in every religion and usually every movie, there's either a white savior or a light-skinned savior or some sort, to see a black man who went from helping to destroy his community rise up and be the savior of that same community and pretty much make an oath that he was going to continue to be that, that really stood out to me. I liked the Black Panther film, but I did feel like Black Panther was kind of a coon, because, you know, you take this white boy in, and essentially this white boy is the one who saves the day. I love the fact that in the First Purge, this black man not only was a savior of black people, but he was dark-skinned. He wasn't out to save white people. He wasn't an all lives matter type of black person. He wasn't having sex with white women. He wasn't married to a white woman. So we actually got a chance to see for the first time ever, maybe outside of the Blade trilogy, we actually got the opportunity to see a dark-skinned black man who was pro-black, and he was fearless. And you know, that's important, because the FBI in real life, now not talking about the movie, but the FBI said that their mission statement is to stop the rise of a black messiah. Okay, that's the real reason why the FBI was formed. It wasn't formed to stop liquor bootleggers, you know, none of that BS that they teach you in these so-called school and history books. The real purpose of the FBI has always been to monitor poor black people and prevent the rise of a black messiah, because Gay Edgar Hoover and all of his successors are Masons. They study the Quran, they study the Bible, they know God and Allah, who is one God really. They know his pattern does not change. He always raises a Messiah or a Savior from the very people that are oppressed, so that that Messiah can relate to them. Okay. Now, white people know that they have oppressed black people a million times over. So the savior for black people is not going to come from Hawaii, not going to come from Canada, not going to come from South America. The savior for black people is going to be born in the hood. So this is why it's so important for us to not underestimate Lil Boo Boo just because he's running around being bad now. Don't underestimate Keisha because she's running around here being fast at the mouth right now. We don't know who the divine and the almighty is going to work through to raise and deliver black people, but just know that that Messiah is going to be a black man or a black woman, point blank, period. And so there's so much stuff that I want to say about this film, but those 2 points just really stuck out to me. I was thoroughly impressed with that movie. I do plan on going to go see it again, but I recommend The First Purge to everybody. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. 10 out of 10 stars, whatever category you want to talk about. I really enjoyed that film, and I hope that whoever went to go see it, you enjoyed it. And another thing I like about it is that it made white people uncomfortable, and anything that pisses white people off, it has my vote. Okay, it was a very good movie. Man, I can't express it enough. I really can't express it enough. The brother who played Dimitri in that movie, so much power and respect to you, brother, because you nailed it. You really nailed it. You had like the little Nino Brown thing going on with the fade and being in New York. I really enjoyed that. Man, it was just a good film. It was a really good film. So I want to share my review with all of you all. And like I said, if you go see the film, I hope you enjoy it. And if you did see the film, I hope you took more away from it than just the killing, you know, or the action of it. Is really a lot of symbolism in it. And I think that black people have to become accustomed to a Messiah that looks like us. We can no longer go around here accepting a Messiah that looks like a hippie from the 1970s. You know what I'm saying? Hippie Jesus cannot save black people, all right? You need to be expecting a Messiah that looks like you. And I love the way that the black women in that movie were praising that black man when he saved the day. That was such a welcome sight. And brothers, we can be that way in real life. If we stepped up and started protecting the black woman and making sure she's straight, man, she gonna treat you like the king that you are. So protect the black woman, be willing to give your life, and more importantly, be willing to take life for the black woman, because she is absolutely 1000% worth it. Peace, family.